Alerts are used to notify you when there is a problem with one of your jobs. You configure this by starting with the Options panel. Here you need to define how a mail message will be delivered to you, so you're going to need an SMTP profile. Here I've set up a dummy profile which would have credentials. And after that's set up, you can identify a person or a group of people that will be sharing the same set of alerts. And you'll see that as we get to the alert filters. But in the alert profile, I've created a dummy one here. I've put two people in here. You can create a list of email addresses separated with commas and referenced the SMTP profile that will be used for actually sending the messages. I recommend that you use the test button when you initially set this up to make sure that you've got everything configured correctly. Once you have an alert profile, you can use the system alert filters to specify the alerts that will be sent by default to that group of people. So here we've selected the alert profile, that's identifying the people, and now we're going to identify the conditions where a message will be sent to those people. So here I've said on any job failure, send the alert. If a path is offline for more than 10 minutes, send the alert, and so on down the list. Where it says no alert, if that particular condition occurs, no alert message will be sent by default. But you'll see how we can override that in a little bit. Monitors and schedules have a alerts filters tab where you can override what was specified in the defaults. So here I've added one, and if we click on it, we can see that it's inheriting the configuration. So by default, it's going to do exactly what the system defined alert profile is for this group. So this is the profile that identifies the people, and down here we've added alert us on all other warnings, and then we have an option down here that says block. So the block would say if this was set in the default system-wide, don't alert me on completion of this job. Now this doesn't really mean anything on a monitor, but if we were on a schedule, that does have a meaning. We look at the alert filters here, we can create one. And down here, the completion, you may want to always know when this job completes, so we can set an alert on that. The other important aspect of alerts is managing them. Here I've got enterprise status displaying the jobs running on a server, and I have a server here that has errors. These will show up in red in the alerts column. The top number is the errors that are from the current execution, and the total are all unresolved alerts for that particular job. Now to work on alerts, you go up here to the ribbon bar and select the alerts item, and that gives us a new dialog. And by default, it's going to display the alerts for the last or the active job execution. So if we just apply the alert filters here, we'll see the alerts that have occurred here. Now these are all for an offline volume, and you can resolve that by checking the boxes and perform the requested actions. So that's going to simply mark those two items as resolved. If we go back here, you'll see that the count has changed to 4. Let's go back to the alerts panel here. There are a few more options on here. So if you wanted to resolve alerts for old jobs, old executions, you'd simply uncheck that box. That'll give you a date range, and it's going to select a reasonable range here to begin with. And by default, it's going to show you unresolved alerts. So if you check the resolved, it's going to show the ones that we've already resolved as well as the unresolved. If you click, we're going to get the same list here when we click. These are still offline. Now offline is kind of interesting because when the system finds that it's online again, it's going to automatically resolve these that are marked as offline.